Back to News Insight. Things happening every day, and I wonder why we turn a blind eye to some things that happened that shouldn't have happened, and people don't always pay prices for them. I really wonder why. And I've always been an advocate of the fact that there must be punishment as much as there must be reward. Until those punishments come, we will also reward people, that have done well. Most of the time, we don't reward people for doing well, and also we don't also punish people for not doing well. JAMB, there's a mess up in JAMB, so much mess up, and the registrar came out yesterday and apologized with tears in his eye. But Sowore said that all these JAMB, NYSC, and all the bodies that give money to universities. He said these are extracurricular activities. He said they should be scrapped. Well, I'm of the view in a particular concept because sometimes I just think that places like NYC had outlived their usefulness. JAMB, for example, JAMB will give you admission. You go to the school. You now take an internal exam to get into the school. Some of these things are not are duplication and all that. But let's talk about the scrapping as recommended by Sowore. What do you think?
Essentially, you have to look at when they were established, what purpose were they meant to achieve? Over the years, have they achieved those purposes? And over the years, has the dynamics around the establishment remains the same? Things has been moving, from one place to the other. And also, you see the problem we have in Nigeria. We like large government. We've been preaching small government, big private sector, but we don't like it. I kept saying it that you can't be the worker and the supervisor, but that's what Nigerians are. Nigerian government is the regulator. They are also the worker. And they, rather than fund students, they fund school, which is why we have schools that are dilapidating, because the environment and that we had when funding school was working has changed now. What the government should be doing is to fund people. That is why I'm not too sure if NELFUND should be scrapped at all. Because NELFUND, they just started getting traction in NELFUND at 2023 or thereabout, to give loan to students.
But you also know it's all messy right now.
I'm coming. Yeah, I think it should be harmonized, not necessary loan, funding student, scholarship, loan, and whatever the person might need. I'm an advocate of funding student rather than funding school. Let school set their prices. If you own a restaurant, I want to feed this man. You own a restaurant, I give you money to cook. Once you have taken the money, you can cook whatever you like. But if I give money to this man who is hungry and he wants to buy food, if your food is not good, he will go to another person. If you understand, he has choice as a student. Yeah. His funding hasn't been guaranteed to go to any school of his choice that will meet his or her learning needs. Do you understand? But in Nigeria, they allocate straight. Government controlled all the universities. Fine, it's what? At some point, it's not going to work at some point. Let me be honest with you. The best university in the U.S. is not a government-owned university. As a matter of fact, United States of America, apart from military school in West Point, all those military colleges, naval colleges, America do not own one single university.
So do you think we should privatize universities?
It has to come. Let it not be like subsidy, so you don't misquote me. So you won't go and win the election I'll remove subsidy. As after everybody wanted to remove subsidy, don't misquote me.
Okay.
You have to have a complete learning package for the student, fully guaranteed. That is actually what you wanted to do. You only pass through the long route. The other people have access to research financing and all that.
I will take you a hold on that. So I will stop you right there. Sowore said TETFund, NYSC, JAMB, is it NELFUND they call it or so? He said they should all be scrapped. That's the body that just been created to give loans to students. Their issues are even messier than this other one. It's just that it has not been on the front burner, but it's so messy. People have stolen. Let me not give a flat statement that they've stolen the phone until the investigation is concluded. But it's so messed up. JAMB, it has been dilly-dallying here and there. Do you agree to what Sowore has said?
Like he rightly said, we should look at the reasons why these institutions were established. we should look at have they achieved reason of the establishment. We should look at their policy, are they now obsolete? If they are, we should do away with them. We should just say let's take them by injury, let's take them individually and look at how far they've gone from the day we established them. Have they achieved what we set them out there? So if they're not, maybe we want to rejig or replan. But NYSC, for instance, removing it, for me, I don't think it's right. Why? Look at the number of students we chop out every year. Who is absorbing them? And is that, to me, that 1 year program is a period for them to plan their life. The money you get from government is, to me, then the places they go to is an open opportunity for them to see another environment, see what opportunity out there. Someone that has lived his whole life in Abia State, find himself in Lagos or find himself in Maiduguri. Now you don't know much about agriculture. You see arable land. You will see some open-minded students will see opportunities.
But most of these students are not technically sound enough.
I'm saying that.
No, hold on.
Okay.
They are not technically sound enough to face life after, even after youth service. Because if you're an employer of labor, if you bring in a lot of fresh graduates right now that finish youth service and ask them, can you use computer? Can you use this? A larger proportion of them don't know how to do that. Now, why don't we rejig the youth service and make it more effective than what we are doing now?
Okay, with that, you say when the graduates were trained out, some of them are not qualified for what is out there.
Yes.
Who is to be blamed? It's our education system.
No, it's the school system.
It's the curriculum.
The school system
roll out.
The school system doesn't teach you how to make money. The school system teach you book. That primarily doesn't translate.
Study in schools. What you go to school, just go and learn engineering. You don't teach them the business side of engineering.
All right, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Now, you were talking about the university system, how we can make it in a holistic form, so that the government effect.
Okay, let me give you an example. Do you know, at some point, look backward, I can't remember the year, there was a time, there was a conflict between the, what is it called, post-JAMB exam
and
the
conflict.
Yes. The
JAMB will give you.
VCs were thinking whether the people were saying one should be scrapped.
Yeah.
It started from one, and before you know, everybody is now doing post-JAMB.
Yes.
They will do JAMB, they will go and do post-JAMB, they do WAEC. And there's no record anywhere in the world that our university is the best in the world. And go all over the world. They will just do their WAEC. They just do all this jam. There's no central body knows what a school wants. University is, in most cases, research focused study degree. That degree is a study that answers why.
Yes.
Why you have polytechnic and some other degree, technological degree, answering questions of how. You know, most of these schools know what they want. They know what they want. I would rather want JAMB scrapped than post-JAMB being scrapped. I will retain post-JAMB that is administered by a university, because university is a complete learning environment with different colleges. Each of the colleges, College of Engineering, College of Communications, College of Science, know what they want. They have philosophy. As a matter of fact, as a university, they have their mission. They have the kind of graduates they want. So JAMB is, what is JAMB?
It's jamming.
JAMB is so. I support Sowore in scrapping JAMB, not like entirely everything. That's why I said everything should be taken one by one. I have taken more look at JAMB. Look at the registrar frustrating the life of students. It took him some days to come to television to cry. These children that this thing affected, these are young children who do not know that life is about up and down. Some of them would have cried. What if any of them has committed suicide?
You didn't hear?
What if any had committed suicide?
There was
one now by now. I had a student that when he was on the television announcing that there was error, that he said, "Oh, this is my resignation letter."
But nobody resigns in Nigeria.
He should start it. That's what I thought. Crying when children's life has been messed up, some must have been beaten by their father, useless child. I said it. And your own error, you're coming to cry. Cry about what?
And the children can't cry for their parents.
What is he crying for? Is he crying that he's resigning very soon? or he was not able to write his resignation, that his hand is shaking, we can help him.
Okay, all right, that just took me. But you are really seeing what should happen. Mistakes, somebody must pay for mistakes.
We are not
There
saying
should be
we are not saying
consequence.
he should be killed.
Yeah, exactly.
We are not saying it's not a mistake.
Exactly.
He happened to show leadership. If that man resigns to the JAMB will fold up,
No.
he has to provide emotional succor for these children. You talked about punishment and reward when we started.
Yes.
Things will go wrong and nobody will be punished.
Yes.
Is that what you want?
No. Peter, your takeaway.
No, like say nobody there. I think there's a report out there that a child committed suicide.
Unconfirmed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
We don't even know whether it's
that's
police or not. So,
they mentioned JAMB.
but we don't know the areas affected.
So what happened? Let's assume it happened.
Yes.
What has come out of the family? Come to hear you that you said there was a mistake. Probably this kid told himself, you know, that's not why I was called low. How would I face my family? So there should be consequence for every action.
And that's
There should be
also-
Borrowed
consequence.
money to register for that JAMB.
There should be
You know, these
consequence.
people are so cut off from the ordinary person in the street, and they don't get it.
And that's also the same with people that go for NYSC. If you heard that an NYSC was going to report to camp and they had accident and died, most of them no remorse, no state burial, nothing. I remember they are ad hoc persons for election. Some of them have been murdered during election. And those things, I won't want to go into that because sometimes there are a lot of things in this country that make you so angry. I remember in 2011 election, some were killed when CPC and all that. And the presidential candidate that time was Buhari, and he wasn't sorry for them. We sometimes we just look, but people must always go in. I'm calling on that registrar from JAMB to resign.
Now you're talking.
Yes, I'm calling
You're
on
behind me.
No, it's not. I'm calling on him to resign.
Let him go.
Yes, all the funds in we don't have time. We could have talked about TETFund,
all these,
NYSC.
they have to be taken one by
one.
one.
TETFund, for example, most of the funds they give to the university are never retired, and the backlog they have, where are all the monies? So many questions that nobody is answering. But we'll keep on talking about it. We're not going to stop. All right, that's for it. We'll be right back on News Insight.